I'm going to start off the evening by introducing myself. My name is Stephanie Gillig, and I'm with the Chamber of Commerce. And Renee is unfortunately under the weather, so she is unable to be here this evening. So unfortunately, you get to hear this voice instead of Renee. But I just wanted to, first of all, welcome everyone here. What a wonderful way to end the day, correct? I mean, hello, Chamber weather, beautiful facility, so we've really got it made. I am just so proud of what Salina is doing at this point. We are growing leaps and bounds, and this is just one example of the wonderful things that the people of Salina are doing. This came from a group of people that got together that you're going to hear more about later, but it's just an amazing accomplishment, and this is somewhere that I am so proud to call home. So I know you don't want to sit here and listen to me talk. You would rather listen to Mr. Clark Renfro, so I am going to turn it over now.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Wow. Appreciate everybody being out here. This is a special day. We've got Chamber of Commerce weather for this. A couple days ago, we would have been out here in a lot of humidity. So we've got Wimbledon-like weather. There's a small tournament going on in England that's taken a backseat to Salina, Kansas today. So here we are. Well, I want to again welcome everybody here to site of the new public tennis facility. This has been a project, and I'll introduce the board here in just a minute, that we've all been working on for multiple years, and it's a result of really the tennis community coming together and folks here as well as all around the area to make this reality. And we are privileged to have a community that supports projects like this, that works in a public-private partnership. We've got it all over the city that reflects what's been going on, and this is just one of those projects that have also come as a result of that partnership and that collaboration through a lot of different individuals, entities, and it's a joy to be a part of that. I want to take a quick moment just to introduce the Salina Tennis Alliance Board. These are a group of individuals that have been working hard and tireless to make this happen, and I'll kind of start out from here. Ryan Stewart, Dr. Abby Roop, Linda Johnson, Jason Ingermanson, Mike Gohl, Joel Phelps, and Brian Van Kuren, who I'll make a formal introduction here in just a bit. But I want to thank this team. There's a couple folks that were Frank Hampton is part of our board who wasn't able to make it, and then Ken Oliver, who's with Kansas Wesleyan, is also part of this group that wasn't able to make it today. But again, a round of applause for these guys, because they put in a lot of effort to make this happen. Okay, I'm going to try to stick to my script, but I'm going to wing it a little bit here too. I also want to introduce, or if the city commissioners are here, could you kind of raise your hand? Okay, I see Bill and Trent and Greg. Thank you. And then anybody from the School District Board of Education here? Okay, Jim. Yeah. Oh, Lynn is there, okay. So this is a partnership that came together roughly 5 years ago with the private sector, the school board, and the city commission, or the city of Salina, and worked tirelessly to put this together. I want to bring forth Vice Mayor Bill Longbine and have a few remarks, and I'm going to turn it over here to Bill for. All right, Bill.
Well, as Mayor Hoppick would say, this is City Commission weather, but we'll take this kind of day in July any time. This is a beautiful facility and great turnout tonight. A lot of tennis history back here. Years of tennis that we don't realize how big a sport it is. But this facility is going to improve that sport, make it grow, and bring a lot of people into Salina. I understand we've already booked 5A state girls, and it's all going to make a difference. The beautiful part, as Clark said, the partnership. Everyone came together, worked on this project, contributed a lot of private money. You know, the city got behind it, and the partnership just all made it happen. And not very many communities in America that happens, and it's happening in Salina on many projects, and we all need to be grateful for the opportunity to live here. And it's a blessing that I know I followed this process, and there was more drama in this project than there was building the Central Mall. Those of you who had been here for many years, but it all came together, and I think that it was a very, very worthwhile project. So thank you, Salina Tennis Alliance. Good luck. Thanks, Commissioner. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that's gone into this project, and we could tell you a lot of stories over the course of the years that went into this. But ultimately, the end result is this beautiful facility, and this is really kind of the start of something bigger as we get programming, we get lessons, we get operations and everything under our belt, and get this off and running. But there's one part to getting it built. The next part is getting it used and having people enjoy it, both recreationally, competitively, the whole gamut. I'm going to get into a little bit of the background behind this, but first I want to recognize some people, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some people. First of all, I'll get to the donors here in a minute, but without the donors, this doesn't happen. And there's people all across the country that stepped up and helped make this happen. A good friend of mine, Ed Bolin, is in from Washington, D.C. Ed is a tennis legend here in Salina, and played many years ago, and his family is a dear friend of our family, and his brother Dan and Pat are here, and I'm going to recognize many other people too, but appreciate them taking the time to make the trip out here. Some people that made this happen, both from a personal standpoint and from a community standpoint. Charles Renz with Jones Gillum Renz and Jeff Gillum and his crew. I mean, those guys were phenomenal and worked with us. I don't know, is Charles here in the audience? But I see Lynn here. But that group really was awesome to work with and help put this together. Hutton Corporation under the leadership of Jason Gillig, Bob Ross, Braden, Ron, that whole group. I can't say enough about Hutton Corporation and what they do here locally and what they've done for us. Just a joy to work with those guys and the team that we had together to make this happen. Another group, you know, when we first started this project, many of us, it was a grassroots effort, and it was a vision that we came forth and said, hey, we've got to do something with Salina tennis. Salina tennis arguably is one of the strongest tennis communities, not only in Kansas, but in the Midwest. In probably 80 plus years, and Ed knows this, back in the glory days in the 60s and 70s, the amount of participation here, and that's only grown over the years. But this will springboard us even further and will allow tennis to grow not only in Salina, but in this region. And as Commissioner Longbind had mentioned, Keisha has come forward and is bringing 5A state back to Salina this fall. And Salina has not hosted a state event since 2003, I believe was the last time they were here, and primarily because we haven't had the resources to be able to support an event like that. So that's big news. It's economic development dollars that come into Salina, and it just showcases our ability to do things like that. Salina already hosts a number of Keisha events, and now we'll have tennis, and hopefully that will be a spring and a fall event here for years to come. So that's huge, and it's a big deal. But prior to this, our Salina, yeah. And that's a result of a lot of things happening. It's a result of the STA board. It's a result of USD 305, the city of Salina making that all happen and being able to provide events like that. So that's cool. Salina Net Generation was kind of the grassroots effort that got this started, and there's several people here that I think were part of that group. We're certainly, right now, we're on the Queen Jean Court, which happens to be after Jean Boardman, who is just an amazing person, and if you haven't met Jean, get to know her. She's Salina, she embodies Salina tennis, and just a neat person. But I think there's some other people here as well that were part of Salina Net Generation that helped formulate this grassroots effort to get this going. But thank you very much. USTA was a big part of this effort. I don't know if anybody from the USDA is here, but the Missouri Valley section has been phenomenal, and we also worked with some people nationally, but USDA couldn't have done it without them, and it's certainly a venue that we hope to have USDA Missouri Valley events here on a regular basis. So thanks for being here. JRI Hospitality. I cannot say enough about Jason and JRI Hospitality and their team. This again doesn't happen without their vision and foresight in terms of putting together an operational model and a programming model that can work and that can sustain itself over the long haul, and in partnership with Kansas Westland, stepping up to be able to provide us resources to bring all that together. And as I said, I'll bring Brian Van Kuren up here shortly to make a formal introduction to him, but that's going to be a big piece of that. Actually, Brian, why don't you come on up right now, and So Brian Van Kuren, ladies and gentlemen, is our new executive director. Liz Bothwell really helped us springboard or help get things going, and Liz had an opportunity really of a lifetime to take, and so Brian came in here, and we brought him on a few weeks ago, and he will be our director of tennis, and he's also the coach at Kansas Westland. He's a former high school coach. He's got his degree from Southwestern. He played college tennis. He knows the game, he knows kids, and he knows programming, so we're excited to have Brian on board. Brian?
Thank you, everyone. No, I'm really excited to get things going here in Salina. Like everybody said, Salina's had one of the greatest histories when it comes to high school tennis and all that too. And they're the reason why I didn't get a high school state championship at the end of the day too. So thanks, Mike. But no, guys, appreciate all you guys' support and all that. Really looking forward to get things going. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. All right, a few more just thank yous. I know Tom Peoples is in the audience, but Tom was really a godsend to our group and helped us formulate our 501c3, which Salina Tennis Alliance is. And can't say enough about Tom. He's easy to work with, he's smart, and helps us get to where we are today. Thanks, Tom. I'm going to thank my employer, Exchange Bank, just giving me the opportunity to spend a lot of time on helping lead our group to get to where we are today, and our staff and team there. Thank you. And I'm just going to, personally, I want to, on behalf of our board, I know their families, there was a lot of time and energy that we all spend on putting this together, and that takes time away from family and other activities. I want to thank my family, my wife Amber and my 3 daughters for putting up with me and supporting me and telling me that we can do it when there was times where we weren't sure we could. And my mother here, who's actually a USTA national champion tennis player, and my brothers. Appreciate you guys putting up with me and helping us get to this point. Thank you. So, not to drag this out, but this is a neat day for us, and a little history of how we got here. This group really sat down and said, hey, we've got to do something with the courts here locally. They were in a situation that was not good. The city opened arms to discuss options. The school district stepped in and allowed us to figure out, all right, how can we all work together to make this happen? And so over time, we all worked together. Again, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but what was the best way to make it happen? How could we make it work? What was the game plan? We initially looked at the courts around town. They all needed to be repaired. We felt this site was a perfect opportunity to bring together critical mass that allowed us for not only recreational to bring people together, but also a venue to bring in high-level events. When you have those scattered across town, a challenge with that is they're closer to some neighborhoods, but you lose costs in terms of maintaining them. They're higher to maintain. You lose some of the programming opportunities, and you certainly can't bring tournaments around together. So we felt this was a perfect opportunity to bring all that together and really help the community grow. With JRI's help, and part of the STA vision is to bring kids and program together that maybe don't have the means to learn the game, and provide scholarships and rackets and balls to give them opportunities to come out and enjoy a sport that you can play your entire life. And it's a middle school sport, it's a high school sport, it's a college sport, it's an Olympic sport. Obviously, we all think it's the greatest sport in the world, which I firmly believe it is. And it's something that you can play once a year, you can play once every 5 years, or you can play daily. If you ask Gene, you can play 5 times a day. It's a great sport, and it's all a result of people that are here in the community rallying around to make it happen. And you'll notice a lot of the courts here, they stepped up, and we have individual donors here that were also a big part of it. I see the Young family, Travis and Melanie, and I don't know if their parents are here, Chris and Lee, but the Rockholz family, the Roops, Dr. Abby Roop and her husband Chris, Caitlin and Colin, the Beatty family, Steph and Pat and Marinelle and Mike Berkeley and the Bennington State Bank team, thank you. Capital Federal is another, the Dykus family out of Topeka. Long MacArthur and the Queen Jean Court that were honored here. I feel kind of like royalty here, Jean, sitting on your court. This is a Wimbledon-like experience for me. The Jack Wilson Trust, which is again Julie and the team at Advantage Trust, and couldn't do it without you. And then Salina Regional Hospital and Salina Regional Health Center, they were one of the first people to step up to really get the ball rolling. And Joel Phelps, Marlon McElderry and their team, so many things around the city are a result of what they do and what they help to contribute. So a big shout out to them. Blue Beacon International and Trace and Guy and their team, as well as John and Kim Veneer and their family. I had an opportunity as a kid to be close to a lot of those people, and as you look around the community and you see the things that we take for granted sometimes are results of people that are committed to this community, that love this community, and make it so special. So again, thank you for everybody for being out here. I'm privileged to say that we can say this section is game, set, and match, and let the games begin. So here we go. Thanks, guys.